I'm very fortunate.
So what would you tell parents who are trying to encourage their kids to grab hold of a dream or to pursue a dream? What would you tell these parents in terms of how they should relate to their sons or daughters?
I think, something that I would, I guess, suggest is just, kind of just like what I've seen with my parents. I guess that's what I can talk about because that's my experience. And I think just really letting your children go after what they love to do and letting them figure it out on their own. I think a lot of times, sometimes, parents can tend to maybe steer a child in a certain direction, and they have maybe their image of what they want their son or daughter to be or to do, and so that pressure at times can be unhealthy and can really lead a child to feel insecure or to have, not feel good enough. I didn't get good enough grades. My parents, I felt like always said, it's okay, like as long as you do your best. If your best is an A, then that's your best. If your best is a B, that's okay. If your best is a C, as long as it's your best. They would tell me, hey, I know your best is better than a C. But, I think just that encouragement, I think that it really goes a long way with the development of a child. And, just with whatever they want to do, being a good listener, being open to helping them, do what they want to do rather than maybe trying to live vicariously through them and force them to do something. Maybe they don't want to be a football captain or the head of the cheerleading squad or, maybe they don't want to be a wrestler or this or that, And so you just got to let your children find themselves, and then be encouraging along the way and ask them, how's it going? Or, do you like this? Do you like that? Or do you want to try something else? Or maybe you want to try this? Or, I think that's something that, at least I see in my parents, I think it really helped me.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of message do you want your music to send? It's sort of in a nutshell, how would you describe the kind of message that you want your music to send?
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. We definitely want our music to send a message of hope. Even like Ross talked about now, that people can really go after their dreams and not be afraid or not allow anything to hold them back or hold them down from really seeing their dreams come into fruition. I mean, the title of our album is called Lines, and it's funny. It's the chorus part goes, I shine, you shine, we put our life in times within the pages lines. And that song for us is really deep because it's almost like an anthem for us, for anyone, just no matter what your skill set or your talent is, who's trying to really see their dreams become a reality, just really encouraging them to really go after it and don't be afraid. Don't let anyone tell you, don't believe the lies that people tell you that you can't do something.
Right.
And so that's really what we want to do. We want people to listen to our music and walk away feeling inspired.
Are you finding a lot of that out there? Are there people that are like naysayers, people that
haters
are trying to discourage you?
Haters.
Yeah, haters. Huh?
Yeah, you get that. I mean, anytime you try to do something great, what I've found is that you always there's going to be people who are going to try to shoot it down.
Right.
And something that I feel like Chase and I have really been learning is just how to really have some thick skin and say, hey, we really believe in our music and our message and what we're doing. And, regardless of what people say, we believe in it. And, so we're going to really go after it, because the fact is when you're trying to do something great, there's going to be some opposition to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think also, we talked about this previously a little earlier about how people can be when it comes to things that they're not familiar with. And I think that even sometimes as we have conversations about different things or songwriting or lyrics, and we laugh, I'm like, man, I don't like that. That sounds lame. That sounds corny, man.
Yeah, I love that. He's like, I hate that. I don't like that.
And like people can really things like fear things that they don't understand or hate things that they can't conquer. They can't wrap their minds around and control. And I feel like for us, it hasn't been so much even the music and things like that, just as much as they don't really understand the vision that we have and the drive that we have comes from not just the music, but really trying to use this as an opportunity to unify people from all backgrounds. And so that's a tough task.
Yeah.
You guys are working things out in your relationship. What I hear is this, that culturally you have differences that show up when you're writing music or you're, either lyrics or music. And the dialogue that you keep open between the two of you is helping you to figure out where this music is going. And so, and in a sense, what you're trying to do with your music, you're doing with each other. You know, the relationship you're building is empowering you to see a bigger picture, to merge these cultures. And when you play, maybe that's what's so compelling about the music when you get up to play.
Definitely. And I think another interesting thing also is, in addition to that, is even that the similarities that show up are not always easily noticeable. Like he may write from a perspective of someone growing up in suburbia, and then I write these hip hop lyrics, and then when you really step back and you look at even some of the songs that we collaborate on together, you realize in some senses it's the same thing.
Issues are the same.
It's just from his
perspective.
Exactly, from his experiences. I'm like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? And so we have a track on the album called Simplify, and so we're talking about relationships. And so I make a funny comment about names, about African American names. And so I didn't preference this. We went into the studio and I started rapping. And he just falls out. He's like, "What is that?"
I was like, "What?"
And I'm like, "Trust me, you may not get it, but other people will really find it funny." And so what we did was, as part of the ad lib, the backtrack for that song, the response that he had, like, "What?" We kept that in the song.
Good.
And so you hear him in the background. What? And it's crazy.
Because it's so sincere, right?
And we recently played a gig in New York at the Bitter End. And there were people in the audience.
Say what?
They repeated it the way that I said
the
what
thing
I said.
that he had said as the backing track. And I'm like, you know what?
I go, Shauna and Keisha.
Yeah. And you realize that people are really listening.
They're listening.
And I think people say that they want this other style of music or the ones with these negative images. But I think when we talk to people, when we perform and we really have conversations with people, they're like, man, thanks. This is like a breath of fresh air, something next level. So we're excited to be